Welcome to Order Militaris Radio TV, and we're lifelong Catholics, and all we do is all for free, and for our love of Jesus Christ, and for our Holy Mother, the Church, and will defend our Holy Mother, the Church. The wait, the battle has been worth it. It took 2 tries to get the movie with Ryan Patrick, The Rising Hawk, a historical movie on Ukraine when Genghis Khan in Mongolia invaded Ukraine. First time I tried to get this movie, it came through from Amazon. And for whatever reason, the liberals in Philadelphia area decided they were going to mess me over and send me the Blu-ray disc, which I ordered the DVD copy. I wasn't too happy, so I sent it back, got a refund, and found it on Walmart cheaper, and it came quickly. I'm so glad I got it. And thanks to Walmart for getting it here quickly. To those who are buying into the Russian propaganda on the war in Ukraine, you guys are totally up a creek without a paddle and don't know what you're talking about. You don't know Ukraine. You don't understand Ukraine. This movie, The Rising Hawk, sure, at the end is a little historical fiction, but it was worth it. It is 100% an inspiring film about the history of Ukraine and how fierce and the people of Ukraine are in fighting to defend itself, its freedom against invaders. It's like, what was it? The very first few battles between Ukrainians in the Carpathian Mountains versus the Mongols had to been about like 10 guys to the Mongolian hundreds. And the Ukrainians did perfect guerrilla warfare. And when they were in this village trying to save it, they fought off and fought into this one house. And then the Mongolians were trying to burn the house down and smoke them out. But the Ukrainians didn't frighten when the house started to go on fire. They noticed the winds were in their favor, that the smoke was carrying away from them to be a smoke screen for them. And they used this at their advantage. And it is there they learned that the boyar, the prince or chieftain, who controls certain areas of Ukraine that they were in, betrayed them and was a paid agent of Genghis Khan. And it was in that village that they learned they were fighting against Ukrainians. And it was there that they stopped the battle, got the Ukrainians to come back to the right side and defeated the Mongolians. And it was here that the younger brother, Maxim, tried to take on the Khan, but the Khan ordered for his special arrows, which he always had dipped in a special poison. And it nicked Maxim's older brother. The neck just scratched it. He died. It was there the Khan then ordered the entire Mongolian army to go up into the Carpathian Mountains to come down and crush and burn the villages. I think it was like 3 villages of men and women who stood up against the Mongolian army and gathered them into this tiny little canyon, narrower than the Grand Canyon that we have here, and defeated them one after. They kept the Mongolians kept riding into this canyon, and each time they rode in, they were defeated. And it was there that the Khan send the rest of them and destroy them and sell them. And that gave them time to get up to the dam to get the ropes on it and pull down this huge stone. It took a good number of poles to pull down that stone. And at the end, they literally pulled a Moses in drowning every one of the Mongolian soldiers. It was only 2 Mongolian soldiers, the Khan and the Boyar, and they also captured Maxim. But then finally, at the end, the Boyar returned to his senses and once again became faithful to Ukraine. Freed Maxim, killed 2 Mongolian guards, tried to fight Genghis Khan. This is where it gets into the historical fiction because this didn't really happen, but it was a great switch to for the ending of the movie. Where it was Maxim against Genghis Khan. Maxim went back into his guerrilla warfare days and, and street fighting, what we would call street fighting today. Disarmed the Khan, swipe kicked him, get him on his back, and took the sword from Genghis Khan and put it right through the guy's heart. And the villages were saved because of that flood, because they destroyed the Mongolian army. How they fought, how they showed spirit to defend everything they had against the Mongolians. It was so inspiring, so uplifting, so moving. This movie needs to be shown to any recruit who wants to join the territorial defense or the international legion who wants to help defend Ukraine, so they know why Ukraine and the men of Ukraine fight so fierce and so loyal for Ukraine. And I'll put a link to it where you can get the movie on Walmart if you're in America, but please look for it in Europe. It's a must watch. And this movie was made in in Ukraine, in the Carpathian Mountains, and it is it is not rated, but it it is very brutal with the 13th century warfare. And so there is a lot of, medieval warfare that is very brutal, but it's not as bad as some um, medieval modern movies. Now, I want to address the war crimes that we have seen and witnessed on Twitter by the Russians. To say the war crimes are done by the Russians is true, but also false. You saw in the movie The Rising Hawk, the same war crimes done by Genghis Khan and the Mongolians that has been happening in Bucha, Irpin, and all those cities still under occupation of the Russians. It is no surprise that Mongolia, Kyrgyzstan, and all those others are fighting in union with Russia in Ukraine and committing these same atrocities they committed in the 13th century under Genghis Khan. So this movie opens your eyes to show you why Ukraine is in the right, why you must fight and help Ukraine any way you can. And if you're going to be a volunteer in the armed forces to help defend them, this movie is a must watch. And I'll also have on the come up on the video where you can click and go watch the trailer of The Rising Hawk. It is a must watch. So if any of our recruits are out there who want to join Order Militaris' training deal, watch that movie, get inspired. And I'll probably do another episode on this soon. So it is full.